Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Julian Rodriguez, Juice Manji, and you're now watching The Pulse. So before we really get started, I'm like, if you catch me looking to the side throughout the videos, because there's a fucking opossum in my yard. I'll show you a clip. I took some video of it right now. Yeah, now he's just chilling in that corner, which is fine. I don't mind him. You know, he can do his thing over there. Just don't fucking come near me while I'm trying to do this shit. Or don't come near me. Stay the fuck from around me. I don't want there's a possum near me. But anyway, he's over there. He's chilling like by the gate. Anyway, let's get started. This week I want to talk first. Start off with sports. A lot going on. It's going to take up the majority of the segment this week, but. First things first, let's talk NBA draft. I didn't hit you guys last week. I was out of town for half the week, and I honestly was kind of beat. Didn't feel like doing the video last week. It would have been rushed. But the NBA draft, as a Laker fan, I'm very pleased with the results. We got Julius Randle, who I think is going to be one of the, if not the best player in this draft. When we look back on it, I think he'll be one of the 2 or 3 top players. So to get him at number 7 was a huge value pick for the Lakers. I also really like our second round pick, Jordan Clarkson, who coming into this season, people thought was going to be a first round pick, but he had a really rough year shooting the 3. So that kind of dropped his stock a little bit. So, but as a freshman, he shot like 42% from 3. So, you know, maybe he can get his stroke back. Pause. But really look forward to seeing how Randle and Clarkson do on the team. Clarkson will certainly make it, given the fact that right now we only have 6 guys on the team, including Randle and Clarkson. But other notes from the draft, I like the Cleveland Wiggins pick. I think Embiid would have been better for them, but I understand why they didn't want to draft a guy who probably won't play this season. I like Jabari in Milwaukee. You know, couple him with the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you got a nice little 1-2 punch of young, really electric talent there. And then Philly, I like that they got Embiid because I think Embiid is the most talented guy in this draft. But Philly had 2 top 10 picks and left the draft with 2 first rounders who will not play this year, between Embiid and Dario Saric. And when you're this bad, I feel like at some point you can't be this bad year in and year out. And I feel like at some point they need to start like working towards a working culture. And if you're not going to add pieces that are going to help you win in the draft, and they're certainly not going to do it in free agency either, I think at some point you got to start working towards being better. You know, stockpiling picks is great and all, but even if you package all those picks to trade for a proven veteran, if you just have this like year in and year out culture of losing, they're not going to want to stay around. So Bulls traded their 2 picks for McBuckets. Doug McDermott, I thought that was an interesting. I thought it was a good move because I know that McDermott right now can offer them some real good shooting, and he's a liability on defense, but they're a team defensive thing. I think Tibbs can hide him or scheme up game plans. You know, I think Tibbs can put him in a position to not be a liability. So I think that's a good pick for the Bulls. I really like that pick for them. He can give them some offense, which they're desperately in need of. What other picks did I really like? You know, I'm waiting to see what the Kings do because they drafted Nick Stauskas, they drafted Ben McLemore before, and you know, why have 2 young shooting guards on the team? I figured Dante Exum to Utah. We'll see about that. I mean, I can't front beyond YouTube. I haven't seen Dante Exum play at all. Marcus Smart to the Celtics. I like Marcus Smart a lot, don't get me wrong. I would have been happy if the Lakers drafted him. Randle was my number 1, is the guy I wanted most, but I would have been very happy with Smart too. The thing about Smart that confuses me is that they got Rondo, and neither of them they don't complement each other. They both can play D, and I think Smart can guard 2s, but neither of them can shoot. So that concerns me a little bit. Having poor outside shooting at the 1 and the 2 is a little I mean, Smart, I think his jumper will improve, and I think he'll end up being a decent to good jump shooter in time. But right now, that pairing is not, I don't know, I feel like teams will just pack the paint against Boston. So I anticipate, a Rondo trade, or something, some other move, because it's something. Danny's up to something over there in Boston. All right. Aaron Gordon to Orlando at number 4 was kind of a shocker. But you know what? I think Aaron Gordon, I think he can be a Shawn Marion type. I think his ceiling is a better and bigger version of Shawn Marion is his ceiling. I feel like his floor, like the worst he can be, is Tyrus Thomas. Free agency. So far, no big signings. A couple like impact on good team signings. You got that Sean Livingston to the Warriors for 3 years, I believe, $16 million. That's a great deal. I think it'll give that lineup a lot of versatility. You can have a lineup with a lot of versatility with Steph Curry, Livingston, Clay, Iguodala. Now you have 4 guys who can really handle the ball a little bit. So the offense won't get stagnant like it did when Curry was out of the game. Now you have another guy, because before their backup points or the guys who were kind of being like the primary ball handlers and playmakers when Curry was out of the game were Jordan Crawford and Steve Blake, and Steve Blake was banged up, and Steve Blake hasn't been able to blow by guys in a while. He's a serviceable backup point guard, but he's not going to create, and Crawford is just not really a point guard. Jody Meeks got 3 years, $19 million. And I'm happy as a Laker fan. Jody came and he improved a lot from last season, from the nightmare Dwight season to this past season. He really improved his game, and he's a solid defender, pretty good. I'll say an above average defender at the 2, and an above average shooter. So he's a D&3 guy, and yeah, that's a little bit much, $6 million a year for a guy like that, but good for him. I'm happy for him. He's a hell of a player. I don't know about $6 million a year, but it is what it is. In other shooting guard news, Lance Stevenson turned down a 5-year, $44 million deal from the Pacers. I was talking on Twitter with people last night. The number for Lance is going to be about 11 million. So 5 years, 44. What's that? It's like 9. It's a little less than 9. That's not going to cut it. And the Pacers are hard capped now. They acquired C.J. Miles, so that kind of tells me that they're kind of closing the door on Lance. So we'll see. Lance is going to turn to, I guess, the Hornets, the Lakers, maybe the Bulls. See if he can get his $10 million a year. I get the impression that if the Lakers want him and if they extend the offer, then he'll be on the Lakers. And I'm not just saying that because I'm not being one of those Laker fans that just thinks everybody's going to get, we're going to get everybody in the league. I just think, if the money's the same, I think he'd probably rather go to the Lakers than go to Charlotte. Just a guess. And I don't see the Bulls getting in on Lance. I think they'll use their resources to get one of the big forwards that's available, whether it's Carmelo in free agency or Kevin Love via trade. I think the Bulls will be in that mix. They'll probably they might sign Pau Gasol if they don't get Melo. So I think the Bulls have their sights set on a big man or a big wing like a Melo, and then they'll go from there. Now the big 3, this is getting dicey with them. They didn't opt out together, and now there's reports of LeBron wants a full max. He's not going to take a pay cut, and Bosh wants 16 to 18. So already there, you're looking at about $40 million between the two of them of the $60 million cap, and you haven't even signed Wade yet. So this idea that they're going to be adding a Kyle Lowry or anybody like that, not going to happen. They might be able to add a guy like Gasol via the mid-level exception, but it's not looking good for them really upgrading the roster and keeping LeBron. It's LeBron's situation is going to be something to monitor. It's not. If you would have asked me last week, I would have said it was a slam dunk that he's going back to the Heat, but now I'm a little less sure. I'll never count out Pat Riley. He can always work some magic, but that's a situation to watch. It's going to be real interesting. Carmelo is on his kind of free agent tour, seeing different teams. He already visited with Chicago, and Derrick Rose did a workout in front of Carmelo to show him what kind of condition he's in, which was pretty good for Derrick Rose, because I was ripping him on Twitter for publicly stating that he wasn't going to recruit Melo, which I'll never understand why Rose seems almost proud of that. He's got to be a steward of his franchise and go out and try to get the best players around him. None of that bullshit, I'll win with anybody attitude. I mean, that's cool when you're playing, but during the offseason, when it's time to upgrade your team, you need to be out there and you need to be doing a service to your franchise, trying to get these other guys in. Because Noah's doing it. and I was like, what is Rose? Is it beneath Rose to do this? But I'm glad he did that workout. That's more than he more than met the expectation with that. So kudos to Rose. I know Melo moved on to visits in Houston and Dallas today, and we'll know how those go after the fact. I know it was a big I don't know, some bullshit drama because they photoshopped a number 7 jersey on Melo and put a poster of him up in Houston, and that's Jeremy Lin's number. He still wears that number. But I mean, I think everybody knows, anybody who follows free agency and this whole thing closely knows that if Melo's in, Lin is out, because they already have trades lined up for Lin. Should Melo choose the Rockets, because they can't bring him in without getting Lin's money off the cap. So we'll see how that goes. But I thought that was kind of funny that Melo basically chased Jeremy Lin out of 2 towns if he goes to the Rockets. And then Melo meets on Thursday with the Lakers, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes if we can get Melo. I've kind of come around on the idea of, before I didn't want Melo. I only wanted Melo if we got that crazy fucking shot in the dark pipe dream scenario of getting both Melo and LeBron. But the more I think about it, it's only a 4-year deal that they'd have to sign Melo to. First 2 years with Kobe, and the second 2 years after Kobe's money comes off the cap, that's another $24 million that you can use to add another player. And I'm not, Melo's a hell of a player. His game isn't based on speed, so he's at 30 now. He'll be 34, 35 when the contract ends. I don't think he'll be that washed at that age, barring injury, of course. I think he'll still have a lot to contribute. So let's do it, guys. Go Lakers. As far as hip hop goes, all I'm really here to talk about this week is the Riff Raff album, Neon Icon, dropped last week. Let me know what you guys think of Riff Raff in general. My thoughts on it: I like the album. It's a fun listen, but I'm coming from a place I don't take him seriously, because it's pretty clear to me that he doesn't take himself seriously. This is clearly a very a character that he's kind of cultivated and developed, and I think it's hilarious. I mean, some of these lines in the album are just really funny, and I'll play a couple of my favorites for you right here.
I can shoot a BB through a frosted Cheerio from 50 yards away. I can ride blades. Might hit the club and it's the white Danny Glover rap game. Uncle Ben pulling rice out the oven. Now Julius Caesar and Versace wife.
But yeah, overall, I think it's just a fun listen. I didn't expect much from it. There's some songs that slap. And there's some that, are kind of shitty, but I mean, that's what most rap albums have, a few real shitty shitty songs these days. So it's kind of sadly comes with the territory. But overall, I mean, it's just a fun listen for the summertime. Drink some beers, get a little twisted, and not take shit so seriously. That's kind of my, I don't think he's some wizard MC, but he's a funny MC. Like he's purposefully trying to be funny with some of these bars. So that's what that I can dig. Like he's trying to be funny, he's trying to be fun, and I think he achieved that, and I fucks with it. It's not something I'm listening to seriously. Like I said, it's just a fun listen, carefree, and that's my opinion on Neon Icon by Riff Raff. All right, we're gonna do, because we just did so much on NBA free agency, brief sneakers sneaker talk. Coming out this weekend. What do we got? We got the King's Crown LeBrons coming out this weekend. Those look pretty nice. Those are the nicest, or really to me the only nice EXT model from this LeBron line. So good on those. If you're getting those, good luck if you're going for them. I know the Jordan Futures in the gray, and the Wolf Gray and the red dropped today. I can't think of much else dropping this weekend. It must be a chill ass weekend. But in any case, enjoy your 4th of July, guys. It's been fun. It's always fun chopping it up with you guys, talking kicks. This possum's still chilling behind this bush over here, but he's cool. I'm gonna leave him alone. He's not bothering me. I just need to keep an eye on him. They got rabies and shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's always fun. It's good to be back doing these again. I know I only took a week off, but I miss fucking with y'all. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed this, like this, hit that thumbs up button. It's over here, I don't know. But hit that shit. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I greatly appreciate the support. Hit me out at Twitter, @JuiceManji. And hit me up in the comments. Chop it up, talk kicks, sports, whatever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you on the next video. Peace.